הזוגות שבחיי.
فيفي؟
تحركيش تحركيش
صار هون
شو انت بتسوي هون؟
شو شعورك والقناص؟
شو الأخبار؟ الحمد لله على السلامة. انتهاء
قديش غني
ان شاء الله العقبه للمعاوزين.
أنا كنت بكاشر مع واحدة يعني وصار في إشي غلط اللي ما كانش لازم يصير.
ערבי שמטריד הילד יהודייה זו עבירה ביטחונית. אני רוצה שתנתק.
ولا معي بالشغل. اسمع بركة تسأل محمد. خلاص.
شو بتحكوا؟
شو شعورك
מה
والقناص؟
מפחיד אתכם? פילוגים? פילוגים, מלחמות. וואו, מלחמות, מלחמה.
אורי, יש עכשיו תרגיל. את קמה ובא איתי עכשיו. אין פה...
ابنك لما قال لي هو دخلت الشرطة شو عملتوا؟
طيب انا مش انا اجى دوري.
ما بعرف انه ماما حكت لكم انتوا على الخربطة اللي صارت. كانت عن جد خربطة.
ولك يا ويلي قديش كنت بانيت لك. ولك يا ويلي. ولك
Oh, well, I'll just start because we don't know each other and there's no small talk to be had. Other than to say, Scandar, that I really was so glad for the opportunity to see Happy Holidays, and I'm so glad that it just sort of caught me at the moment it did, the opportunity, and the email that I received with the press information about it, and yeah. It's, I watched it with my partner. I guess what's today? Sunday night. So it's fresh in my mind still.
Yes,
And it
that's
does.
good.
Yeah. And it is a film which stays with you. It it enters into your kind of your fiber and it stays there for a while. Because well, let's start with the title, because it's called Happy Holidays, right? Before I started reading about the press information, I thought, well, what an odd name, it seems almost like sarcastic or ironic, right?
It is very ironic. It is, because we're going through holidays, but none of them is really, happy or has any happy events happening, But the title in English is a translation that doesn't really conveys the original title in Arabic, which is Inad Aleko, which is a way to congratulate someone. You will say Inad Aleko, but literally, if you translate it, it means may this be repeated for you. So basically, if you have a birthday, Adam, I will say like, may this birthday be constantly repeated for you. So may you have
Live a
many
long life.
Yes,
right, and happy.
And this happens for everything, for Christmas, for an anniversary, anything. But also it has this other connotation, which has to do with tradition, with traditions, because traditions in Arabic are called also repetitions. That's the name. And the title of the film is situated in a place, well, not in the beginning of the film, where we repeat another story, but this time from the perspective of our new or fourth protagonist, right? Because the film has 4 different protagonists. So the best way to translate it and not to complicate things was like Happy Holidays in English.
And you were okay with that title? Did it
I mean, in
resonate
France,
for
they
you on
changed it. In France, they chose another title which I didn't have
control?
any say in. You know,
You
it's a
don't.
very long title, Chronicles of Haifa, you know.
That's very on the nose.
Yes, but this is what they thought would work better, and it did. You know, the film did so well in France in terms of box office. You know, it
Oh,
was
good.
really a hit, yeah. And so yeah, I don't know. It's the last thing, you know, I wanna think about. You know, even in my first film, Ajami, I didn't know what to call it. I actually posted something on Facebook. I said, like, what do I call my film? I wrote a short synopsis, and
Were
then
you
a good
trying to
friend of mine.
crowdsource this?
Yes, I was like,
Uh,
what do I call the film? I had so many ideas. And then a friend, he's from Ajami, who lives in Portugal. He goes like, call it Ajami.
mhm.
Yeah, great. Let's go for it, you know, the first film. And this one is a little bit more complicated, yeah.
Right. Well, I think it's nice to have, well, box office is probably the most important thing, so we can't criticize the French in this
Yeah.
case. Well, you know what I mean. I mean, you want to make a, this is your second feature,
Yeah, that's my second feature. Yeah, and I'm
right? So you
constantly.
want to make a third and a fourth, I would assume. And, you know, so
Yeah,
box office plays some role in that. But
yeah.
what I think is important, I mean, did it beyond film festivals? This is the only part I actually don't know about. So I want to ask you from the beginning here also, like what the and I don't think Michael's on. So, but I want to know, you know, what it's the screenings it's had in the States, and um, also, you know, is it because I received this, I thought maybe it's going to be available on some streaming platform, but I wasn't sure. I was a little unclear if people had a chance to see this in the theaters yet here.
The theater release is on the 5th of December.
Okay.
So the premiere is in the Film Forum in New York
Okay, great.
and other
Amazing.
cinemas, obviously. But we opened in the US in terms of festival long time ago. It was one of the first festivals after Venice, actually. It was in the
Mhm.
Chicago Film Festival.
Oh, wonderful.
That
Okay.
was our US premiere. And
Hmm.
then it went to Palm Springs and many other festivals. Unfortunately, because I teach at NYU in Abu Dhabi, so it was like
Right.
very
Yeah.
difficult for me to travel. And the US is not easy. It's like for me, it's like 14 hours. So
Yeah. And you know, it's not a bad time to avoid the States.
yeah, I like it actually. I mean,
No, no,
I
yeah.
love New York, to tell you
Yeah,
the
no,
truth.
no. New York is a great place. And
It's,
what do you think of our mayoral election? How does that
is
impact?
great. I don't know him personally. I know his mother, Mira
Yes.
Nair,
Yeah.
filmmaker. Yeah.
She's been on this podcast too, by the way.
Yeah, I last time I met her was in 2010 actually,
Wow.
in Qatar. Yeah, so yeah, we used to know each other, but yeah, it's great. I hope he'll deliver.
Yeah, me too. I think it's pretty important that he does, you know, and it could pave the way for a lot of change.
Yeah,
You know, he has this incredible opportunity here. But what I appreciate, one of the things to get back to Happy Holidays, one of the things, and mentioned the film forum date again was you said December.
December 5th.
Okay, I want to make a note. Uh,
Yeah,
this is what I'm timing this with. Uh, what a wonderful theater. And such you know, New Yorkers love that theater, and they will, I'm
yeah,
sure, make you happy for your holidays. And
yeah.
uh but what it's just, you know, obviously you're Palestinian. The film portrays Palestinians. I know there's complicated characters, you know, your some of your characters are quite complicated, flawed, but they're so human, and they are I would say, if not middle to upper middle class, you know, and the portrayal is important. I think, you know, because I think that there's especially with all the tragedy in Gaza,
Mm,
that
yeah,
we have a very narrow perception of Palestinians.
yeah.
So it's important to see
Yeah,
this film.
absolutely. You know, it's you're absolutely right. It's all linked. You know, the fact that people accepted the genocide in Gaza had to do with this, had to do with the perception of Palestinians in the West. which was a work of 100 plus years, of dehumanization of Palestinians
Hmm.
and of Arabs in general, right? If we go back even all the way to the British colonialism in Palestine, and you read what was written about Palestinians back then. Even then, it started. So Zionism didn't invent, dehumanization in that sense. Just to give you, a quick fact, Gaza had the highest rate of PhDs per capita in the world.
Shocking, right?
Yes, you can just Google it, right?
Yeah,
And there's this
right. We don't have to take your word
conception,
for it.
yeah.
The
There's this
reality.
misconception of who and generalization of Palestinians. We're made of 4 different religions.
Hmm.
Jesus was, in Palestine, right?
Hmm.
So we have Christians, Muslims, Druze, which is a tiny religion, and Jews. We have Jewish
Hmm.
Palestinians in Nablus,
Right.
right?
Nobody knows. Very few people understand that.
Yes.
It's too complicated, and nuanced for a lot of
Yeah.
us Westerners.
It's it's easy actually to get this if you fact check things and if you question how your morality was designed, right? And this is something that Happy Holidays talks about. Because
Yeah,
at the
I was
end of
going to
the
say.
day, the film talks about women oppressing women. Now, how does it work? How
Right.
does it
Which
work that
is
the mother oppresses her own daughter, right? And it has to do with, what the West went through is this like internalizing ideas, internalizing a morality without questioning it. And then you start defending it. You believe in it, blindly you believe in it. And this is why, there's this misconception about Arabs in general and Palestinians. And I hope the film and the way it's made also, maybe Adam, you don't know, but all the people that you saw in the films
are non-actors.
are non-actors.
Oh, I
They
knew
were
that.
cast, yeah, they were cast based on
Right.
the real life
They're
profession.
right. I understand. So the doctor, Waldi,
Walid.
Walid, excuse me. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. That's right. It's edited right out. Nobody knows. But Dr. Walid is the actor. We'll call him an
Yeah.
actor. He's a non-professional actor, but he's an actor in your film, and he is in reality a doctor, a Palestinian doctor. So
Yeah.
right, and then you went through this workshop, extended workshop period, you think you're like Mike Lee or something,
Yeah,
because
like a combination of what Ken Loach did in the
Ken
60s,
Loach and Mike
his
Lee
early films,
in this
and
Mike
then
Lee in the
Mike
70s.
Lee.
Yeah. Um,
Absolutely, yeah.
I
A,
interrupted.
a radical, approach
Well,
because
it can go anyway.
yes, yeah. I work with all of them. All of the actors or non-actors, all of them come from their their profession in life. And I never gave the screenplay to anyone. So the whole film was improvised from beginning to end, shot
Wow.
chronologically, which is crazy for producers, with 2 cameras. And then I edit my own film. So, I spent a year editing 180 hours
Oh
of
my
rushes.
goodness. Wow.
Yeah, with two
Wow.
cameras. Yeah.
Wow. And so obviously you don't even one doesn't even need to ask the question, do the actors that are in the other there are 4 plots, sort of interwoven
Yeah.
subplots, if you will, or parallel
Mhm.
plots is a better way of saying. Of course none of them knew the other plots because they were improvising to some degree or a great degree. You gave them situations, I assume.
Mhm.
It's
Yes.
amazing. They all seem professional. Hats off to you because you would not know that they weren't professionals. I mean,
Mhm.
especially I have to. Well, I'm not going to paint
The
anybody.
mother, the mother. I know
You,
you're gonna say
you knew it.
Hanan.
She is such a she's now she wants to be an actor, right? She's now I'm
Yeah.
sure she's does, but she was so remarkable. And I have to say, the one who played her husband too. That's not an
Mm.
easy role to play. He was suffering, and it wasn't a broad like performative style. It's very subtle, you know.
Very rich. Yeah.
And I have to say, he really did a remarkable job. I have a question though. You mentioned women Yes, these are the female in this film are basically driving the stories. They're the it's their characters that are going through the all the stories here. And my question though, because the women are the hardest on other women, I wondered if you got flack from Palestinian women who've seen the film. Are they giving you? Do they react negatively or critically about that? They don't want to be portrayed that way publicly, perhaps.
Yeah. So far, yes, let's start with this, that the film is very critical, and I'm a true believer that, self-criticism is the beginning of, trying to mend something that is broken.
Good
And for
point.
me, this is a part of society that is broken.
Yeah.
We're a society and a people that's been trying to liberate ourselves, for, the last 100 years from, colonization, or the last 500 years, starting with the Ottomans and then the British and now the Israelis. And still, we are, oppressing ourselves, and we're limiting, our liberation to political liberation, but not to social liberation. So I think this is my starting point. From the screenings I had and I attended, actually women told me that this is me, this is our story. And some women, more than two, told me, I am Fifi, older women, but I'm afraid that I'm also her mother.
Wow.
So
That's quite
yeah,
quite something to admit. It's
yes,
very vulnerable.
it is, but I think the things that happen there are shocking, they're radical. And I think radical things, they do provoke, discussion and thought. And this is what I want to do with my films. I make them for a very specific reason. I want to highlight issues in my society so that people start talking about them. Otherwise, you bury them and you keep going around in circles, right?
Right. For sure. I'm just taking a peek here while because I was trying to remember where perhaps in Israel the film has played.
Yeah, it played
And
in Haifa, Jaffa. Wait a second. Nazareth.
so
What else?
yeah, so it sounds like there were quite a few screenings.
Yes. I
Right.
mean, we
And
were
there was
unlucky because we released in Israel in May, and like 2 weeks later,
oh,
yeah, there was the Iran attack. Israel attacked Iran, so everything shut down for a month or two.
right.
And then we did a small re-release in October, which was last month, which did okay, but now people are interested in, in other films, newer films.
Crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of yeah, there's a lot of competition out there for people's
Yes, absolutely.
for people's attention, to say the least.
Yeah.
But you wrote, and I might have to pause here to find it because but I find this a
Take your
really
time, take your time.
yeah, and then I can again edit. I meant to highlight it ahead of time. Well, it's I rather than search, I could just refer to the social and political structure of the relationship in Israel, between Israelis and Palestinians, and
Yeah,
perhaps within the Palestinian community as well. You refer to this reward and punishment of the system and
yeah,
how that affects people, and maybe you already started describing it just a moment ago when you talked about
yeah,
those women that responded to the film
yeah.
and
Yeah,
recognized the characters in themselves.
in themselves, yeah. I think, every society wants to create, bonds between people through shared values, right? I don't know.
Yes, yes.
If you're a vegetarian, you become part of the group of vegetarians and you defend the value of being a vegetarian, right? Or if you're a Christian, or if you're a Jew, or it becomes your sets of values. And this is a good thing, you know, because it binds us together, those values. But societies or groups, you know, they're very strict about how to regulate themselves. So they do it with a system of rewarding and punishing, right? So if you do what is expected of you as a vegetarian or as a Christian, you get rewarded. Oh, that's the good Christian. Oh, that's the good vegetarian. And if someone sees you as a vegetarian, you claim you're vegetarian, you're eating like a burger, and you get punished. You'll get shamed, or people will make fun of you, or people start hating you. I don't know, right? And this regulates society. So the women in the film, they don't hate their daughters. They know that society is very strict. They know, Fifi's mom knows that she's going to get punished if her secret will get discovered. So out of love and care, she wants to protect her. She is the first, line of protection before it goes out. Because once it goes out, the mother would not be able to protect her daughter, right? So this is why it's sustained, this oppression. Plus, there's another reason, the mother herself, we don't see her, we don't know her story that well, but, when I've written the character, she went through the same process of being oppressed as a woman. And we human beings, we tend to, or we need to convince ourselves that we have a good life. We cannot just live convincing ourselves, thinking that, oh, our life sucks. I mean, we could, but then we become depressed and we start having a miserable life. So convincing yourself that you're having a good life, you internalize it and you're convinced by it. The mother is convinced that that was the best way to live her life as a woman, and she wants it for her daughter. So these two reasons puts us in this vicious circle of endless oppression.
Yeah. And these were conversations, very specific conversations you had with these non-professional actors as they created the characters during this period before production?
Yes, I think, understanding the good motivation of every character, because you cannot operate as a human being, but also as an actor, if you don't believe that your character is doing what they're doing out of good. So there's a good motivation behind
They're
it,
motivated by goodness. And did any of them struggle with their character?
Yes.
They would have made very different choices in real life?
Yes, in real life, the people that do radical choices in real life are the complete opposite of their character, because then it won't be ethical. To get, let's say, Dr. Ruti to get a racist woman to do this racist act, right? So I got actually the opposite. I got a peace activist. And we work together on the psychology of racism, through readings, through talking about it, through trying to investigate those groups. These are real groups that exist in Israel, the supremacist groups. So investigating how they behave, listening to talks and lectures that they give. It's out there on YouTube, so you don't have to be it's easy to get to those things. And then with my guidance, she understands that in their mind, in their system, they think that they're doing the right thing. It's just like the example of, if we go back to slavery in the USA, was 400 years, right? Almost 400 years. And you go to white people that enslaved Africans, and you check with them. You ask them, listen, hey, do you think this is right? And 99% of them will think that this is right, because his grandpa did it, his father did it. There's nothing wrong about this. They are black, and he's white. Yeah, and that's the way the life works. It's like I don't know. It's like waking up in the morning or killing an animal to eat it. So we have this skill, I will call it, to separate, or control our conscience and morality. We decide that this is good and we decide that this is bad and we believe in it and we fight for it and we create wars for it and we enslave other people and we oppress other people, right?
We do the most horrible things. That's how we get through it. That's how we make it.
Yes, in the name of goodness, as you said, in the name of, virtue.
You're pleased with, obviously you're very pleased with how it turned out. Would you do this again with your next film? Is this something are you
Yeah, of
opposed
course.
to writing a script and hiring actors or casting actors?
Who knows? Never say never.
Right.
My next project, funnily, it's a documentary with animation. So I'm not dealing with people and it's found footage. So I got tons of footage. And
Well, the
then
footage is found and then you animated it?
no, I have found footage and I have testimonies. I reenact through the
I see.
testimonies.
Yeah, I've seen
So
things that
yeah,
could be very
plenty
special.
of things like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's I'm
More
not gonna
challenges ahead, in other words.
Yeah, I did a teaser and animation is not easy. You have to be it's the opposite of the way I work. In the way I work, everything is improvised. I figure out things and I resolve things in the editing. In animation, you have to be very, very specific. Yes, there is editing, but the editing is done before you start animating.
Sure. Yes.
So it's more precision.
Well, I look forward to then being able to invite you back on here again with this next project and see how that turns out.
Yes.
And the final, as we wind it down, can I assume you're a vegetarian?
No,
Okay.
I'm not. I eat everything. I don't like everything, but I eat everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just thought, well, it came up, I think once or twice, so I thought maybe.
Yeah. It's just an example I use also here with my students because they get it,
Yeah.
And I don't want to use too much examples about other, faith or anything like this, so people understand.
Right. So you are right now this is normally how I start it, but you're in Abu Dhabi right now, right?
Yes, I'm in Abu Dhabi where I teach at NYU Abu Dhabi.
Right.
Yeah, and there's a campus here and also one in Shanghai.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Did you and your students they've seen Happy Holidays?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I screened it here because two of them were involved in the film. They were like assistants. One of them did the IT and the other did assistant camera. Yeah, so they talked about it to everyone. So we did a screening for students only and faculty, obviously. So a lot of people came. So it was fun, yeah.
And these
And
are filmmakers?
Yes, I teach in the film and new media program. So yeah, these are filmmakers. We have students from 106 countries. It's very multicultural. It's very diverse with many, cinematic cultures. People come with, it's a wide range of understanding what cinema is. And for me, it's very humbling, There's like many cinemas out there.
It's amazing. It gives one a lot of gives one some sense of hope for much.
Yes.
But especially a cinema, If
Yes.
Thank you, and it's been a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you so much.
And we'll see you at the film. Well, we won't see you at Film Forum, unfortunately.
No, I won't be coming. I'm pitching my project in the Marrakesh Atlas workshop. So
Okay.
yeah, I have to
That
be
sounds
there.
like a better plan. I don't know. They're both
It's-
good. It's
no,
a
I don't know.
win-win.
They're both good. Yeah.
They're both pretty amazing. Well, enjoy, and I will. I do mean it when I say I hope we can do this again.
Yes.
On the next project.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Adam.
Thank you. Have a
Bye
good
bye.
day. Bye bye.